I've always been interested in hats. I think I got it from my dad. My dad's closet was always filled with some sort of hats, whether it's ball caps or other types. And I always kind of knew what he was doing based off of the hat that he decided to put on for the day. So if he was putting his dress hat on, we were going out. If he was putting on an old ball cap, he was going out to do yard work. I remember stealing my older brother's old baseball hats and wearing them around the house when I was really little. So I always kind of had this fascination, I think, with hats. Hey, I'm Patrick Wieringa. I'm the owner and main hat maker for Redbelly Hats. I started making hats, ultimately because I couldn't find really what I wanted. I'd done kind of my research. I'd looked everywhere for the perfect hat that I exactly wanted, and there's some really great hat brands out there, but really couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. First hat that I made, to be honest with you, a lot of trial and error. Was not very good. Learned a lot of things with the hat making process the hard way. Bought the wrong block, didn't realize I bought for the exact size of my head, so it ended up being small. Didn't fit right, so I ended up having to go back and kind of rebuy some blocks that were going to work for it. But it's kind of pieced together, a lot of mistakes, but eventually started working it out and working through the process. I kept making them because it still wasn't exactly what I wanted. Maybe I'll never get my perfect hat that I'm looking for, at least for myself. But I was just really encouraged by some friends to continue making a hat, so I did. But I'm still searching for and trying to complete the task of making that perfect hat. After the advice of my wife, probably after the first hat, some people wanted to see it, decided that I was going to set up an Instagram page for my hat making process and needed a name. Strangely enough, I played in a college band called Redbelly. My wife knew about that, suggested, why not Redbelly hats? I thought it was great. I really liked the red silk liners. I already had that in the hats that I had made, and when I had flipped it over, it essentially was a red belly of the hat, right? So it kind of fit and worked together. So we stuck with Redbelly.
As a creator, your heart and soul goes into what you're making. And so through the creative process, sometimes I think Pat can get a little discouraged. That's when I just have to really encourage him and remind him that, yeah, you are self-taught. You have done the work. You have put in the hours, and you are a milliner. I am Brianne Wieringa, affectionately known as Bree, and I am the wife of Pat Wieringa, Redbelly Hat Makers. We met in California, that's where I'm from. I was pretty young at the time. I was 19 and he was 25, I think. And so he wasn't really on my radar, because when you're 19, 25 sounds really old. But we were friends for a long time. We ran a lot of the same circles. We were both part of kind of working with the teenagers, with youth, and both working in music, and just kind of started to see each other a lot and just became really good friends. And as time went on and years went by and you're getting a little older, all of a sudden kind of just started hanging out a lot, I guess. But we went on one date and kind of just knew from there, and then been together ever since. I wear a lot of hats, and I'd say the biggest thing is probably marketing. I do all of kind of the behind the scenes, behind the phone, so reels, Instagram posts, kind of more of our back-end website stuff, administrative, kind of just help with vision and everything that we're doing. We just kind of started posting and making video of it, and people wanted more of it, and people were asking if they could buy it, and I'm like, let's do something here. So I was all about it.
Right from the beginning, from our first hat, she was right on board, and she's honestly been the sustaining support as I've maybe gotten tired or burned out making several custom hats a week, and working another full-time job as the brand was getting started. And so outside of just the emotional support, the creative support, she's been the organization, she's been the backbone, she's been the administrative, she's been the non-biased feedback. She's always telling me the truth about my creations and my designs, and never afraid to hold back when things aren't good, and always quick to encourage when things are good. When you trust somebody, they're always there to give you the honest feedback, good or bad. And I think any creative who has somebody that they can take something to that they've created and say, hey, what do you think? And get that kind of honest feedback is always appreciated. And Bree whether it be, life decisions or, something that I've created or made. She's always been that person for me, so.
No, I think you're the creator. I give ideas if I think it's valuable, but really you're the one down there. He's the mastermind, and I'm the support role. So
She's the behind the scenes pulling it all together. So everything that kind of the creative mind doesn't like to do, she does. And so it's kind of a perfect kind of team dynamic when it comes to that. Perfect balance.
I definitely have to remind him of things as the creative, that, hey, we should have, taken that opportunity to do this, or, but it's my routine.
Yeah. So where do we see Redbelly going as a family? I think it's kind of endless. I mean, I have so many ideas kind of rattling around in my brain as far as, collaborations, what we can do, and it just doesn't stop at hat making. We have so much vision for what we want to do as a brand or a company, and it just isn't limited to custom hats. I'd love to do collaborations with a boot company, develop my own whiskey, Redbelly whiskey, any fine leather goods I'd love to partner, within the next probably year or two. We'd really like to work on a brick and mortar storefront downtown Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I think too, what really made our family kind of come together and go, hey, this is a family thing, was the talk of doing a storefront. Because, you being from Grand Rapids and your family being here, generations being here, and now we have children, we were talking about what it would look like to leave, legacy or a thumbprint of who we are, even on the city that we live in.
If you ask my son, he sees it as a fun place to hang out. So it's not just, a retail shop, but it's a lifestyle shop. If you're a hat wearer, this is a place that you can come in and wear your hat and feel comfortable. Grab a coffee, do some shopping, pick up a piece of Redbelly apparel that's going to complete the outfit. A lot of things on the horizon that we're working through, and we're just getting started.